for? Hey, it's Valerie from Valerie Wallace Fine Arts. I'm here in my basement studio in Orono, Maine for everyday 1 o'clock drawing lesson with me, and I've got my husband here and my trusty sidekick, daughter Daphne, otherwise known as the Ginger Ninja. Today we are going to do some buildings in honor of the people in the city who maybe don't have a nice backyard to go out in. That's why. So we're going to do this little city block, and it's a simple, another little exercise in perspective. And I love perspective because you can do once you get the hang of it, you can do really cool things, okay? But sometimes it takes a little while to get at it. Okay. The line, I wanted you to see what's happening with these lines. It won't matter when we go to draw it. We're not going to worry about the lines too much. But I wanted you to understand it if possible, okay? This means that I'm standing looking at these houses, and I'm kind of, my point of view is where this focal point is. That's why I can see the front of everything, and that's also why I can see this little alleyway, okay? Because I'm over here. The hard thing is, if we're drawing a picture like this, to actually use rulers to do the perspective, is that it's way off I don't know if you can see me, but it's way off the page. That's why this picture is the same as this, okay? Here's, this red line is the horizon line. That's like where you're standing. So obviously it's kind of low to these houses because, a person isn't super tall, okay? They're not as tall as the building, so they're not going to be looking down on it. What happened?
Won't you be on the other side?
What do you mean?
Looking from this side?
No.
Okay.
No, how would I see the front? How would I see that side? Okay, so what is happening is that every horizontal line, meaning
Do you know what I mean?
all the lines that go like this, are all converging to this one point. Okay, so the top of the roof is meeting the sidewalk, and then everything along the way, whether it's the windows, until, like everything below the red line is tilting up, everything above it is tilting down, until you get down to where these windows are. See how it's almost flat? And if I went a little bit lower, like this is the top of the cellar right there, it's almost on that horizon line because it's so close to it. It's almost a straight line. Okay, so the lines near here don't matter as much as the one that's on the top. That's it. Let's do it, okay? I am going to use a brown, and I'm going to draw it pretty dark so that you can see it. You are going to draw with something light, perhaps even a pencil. You may even find this would be the time to use a pencil, use something you can erase, because I'll try not to draw the extra lines, but you may wind up with some extra lines here and there, and then you can get rid of them. I will just plan to color over them with black if I have to. I'll make black houses if I have to. Okay? All right. We have our paper going in the vertical direction, which will kind of make it, the only one you're really going to have to work at is this one and this one. If you don't get them on there right, it's still fun. Anybody heard of Ludwig Bellman's? He does the Madeline books. Look at how he draws buildings. They're fantastic. He doesn't worry about the perspective too much. So try that. Don't look at anything here. We're just going to look at this building, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get a line for here that's not too far from the side of your paper. All the lines that go up and down have to go parallel. None of them tilt. If they tilt, it just looks like the building's falling over, which could happen. So I'm going to go in here. What I might do if you have a little trouble with that is I'll say, right about here, I'm going to go about here. And then I'm going to measure that with my fingers. I'm going to mark it again down here so that I'm straight. So hopefully I'll get this line pretty straight. Okay, don't make it too long yet. Make it kind of like that. Okay? There's not much that happens on the top of this picture because it just has the chimney. So let's bring this up quite a ways. It'll be easier to work if it's bigger, especially if you have a smaller piece of paper than I have. Okay? Down here we have the sidewalk and things like that. So I would say for this, give yourself, about this much space. Okay, so right now we're here to here, is here to here, okay? Now, what we're going to do is I want you to look at this slant of this line, and you're going to make a slanted line on this. Not too much, not like this. Maybe find flat, bring it up a little bit. Do the same thing on the bottom here, about the same slant, only going the other direction. This one goes up, this one goes down. Okay? That will mean that if I brought these lines, continued them, they would meet about here, which is a little bit high for the perspective. That would mean make horizon lines there, but that's fine. Okay? Alright. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a line right here. Okay? Right next to this one. You're going to continue this a little bit longer like that. You're going to continue this a little bit longer. Okay? You're going to make one that comes right here. This is the alleyway. Alright? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah? Right here, take a little short line and make it go just up a little bit. Oh, not that much. Maybe I almost score something. Make a little line like that. That's the ground in the alleyway, and that's the bottom of the building. Okay, now this is the most interesting part of this picture is this stairwell, which if you follow along, you'll be able to do it. It's not that hard, but if you come across it and you're just like, I don't think I can do that, just don't do it, and make the doorway on the building like this kind of doorway that's just on the ground. Okay? Okay, because this is what we're going to do. I wonder if this is going to work. Well, I think I have to change the slant of this a little bit.
Yeah.
Too
Okay?
flat, more flat.
It's too, yeah, it's a little, yeah, so I'm just going to color this in. I made this one a little more horizontal. This one we're keeping steep. Okay? If you're wondering, maybe this would be a good idea too, is drawing in a door right here. So that will keep us in the idea of how big a person is in this world. Okay? Alright. You're going to take this line, now we're going from here, we're going to go here. So it's going to be, in this, you know, in the big scheme of things, is a little bit to the left of halfway. So we're going to go from here, and you're going to continue this line, and you're going to go about that far. Okay? Over a ways. You just have to have you don't need a lot of room for this building. Okay? And here, what I'm going to do, this part where the stairs are is about halfway. Okay, so that's like here. Half of this line go down, and that's where I want you to bring this to. Okay, so here. Because we have the stairs in the way, I don't want you to go all the way across. What's happening is this building is out onto the sidewalk a little bit more. This building is back on the sidewalk, so there's more sidewalk here. That's how it has this great big staircase. And the bottom of this building is going to line right up with that staircase. Okay, this is actually a little bit different place. Okay, this is what you're going to do. This is pretty tall. It's on the second floor. But I want you to bring a line right straight down. Not quite as far as what you have for a door there. Okay? Okay? Okay. Now don't look at anything else. See how this little white piece goes out a little bit and then it drops down? That's what you're doing. You're just going to go right straight out, and then you're going to bring this down. And you bring it down, and it doesn't, if you're not sure, don't just don't go as far as you think you have to go, but you're going to go a little bit farther than that line, okay? Okay?
Okay.
We're leaving this building, we're going to go to this guy right here. Okay? We're going to make this line the corner of this building, so it's a little distance away from this. If you don't have a lot of room, just don't make as big a space. So I'm going to go from here, and this one, this is a little taller than where that is. So I'll find this, I'm going to go up a little bit, and this line's going to slant down. Okay.
coming together.
Okay? If you're confused now, just bear with me because this is the last really, tricky part.
Yeah.
And then we'll sort it out, okay? I'm not doing two of them, so I guess I don't have a second chance to show you, but I will sort of reinforce what I did, okay? Alright, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna go to, let me think which is the easiest way. We're here. Alright, let's do this, okay? If this is my door, this is about halfway out. I want you to go to this part right here, and I want you to make a line that goes straight up and down like this. A little short one. And what this is marking is about where the waist is on a person. Okay? Like where the railing is. Okay? You're doing a line right here. Now we're going to do a line right here. Okay? Now this one is going to be about the same on the top, but it's going to go drop down just a little tiny bit. And it's going to slant up a little. Okay?
Yeah.
This line tilts up a little bit, like that. And what you're going to do is take this, you skip here, and you're going to keep going here. I know it's a little hard. Like I said, if you can't do it, you'll just continue this line down, connect it to the bottom, and then just draw a little door there. But can you do it, Tim?
Yep.
It's a master.
Tim can do it. All
Okay.
right.
So you're a master.
From here, you're going to go towards here, but you're going to go up just a little bit like that. Okay?
Okay.
Okay? This right here goes across, right? And then it comes down like this. Do you see this little shape?
Yep.
Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this over a little bit, and then we're going to bring it down so it goes like this. Okay? So you see how this is the staircase in here. Now let's do, right about here, you're going to have a door. Maybe mine's, well, yeah, I guess it can be 2 stories tall. A door like that. So this door should be about the same size. It can be a little bit smaller, but it should be roughly the same. I can make this one smaller too by, giving it a little door frame so that they're more the same size. Okay? So here's my door. This is the floor where you stand on. It would have a line that went like this. And this one goes all the way down. That's kind of awkward, but that's some pretty steep steps. Okay? That's it. That's all the hard parts, okay? I wish I could see, so what you're looking now, if you drew lightly, what you can do, look at now, I'll do this with a black, alright, so you know what to check on. Check up here on your roof, and see that what's happening here is this roof is a little bit, it's going to go back like this, and like this one goes a little bit longer, and it goes back like this, a little triangle. Okay, this is like the underside of the roof. Okay? And you could probably add a little on here, so it has a little. Okay? Alright. The other thing I want you to look at, this line right here is one continuous line. Right here. It goes to the stairs. These lines all go like kind of back. They're all sort of, would all be going to a focal point too, but we won't worry about that because they're so short, it doesn't really matter. They're all just tilting up a little bit. One of the things you might want to do too, this will help, is to color this space in with something dark. Okay. You color these things in, and then hold it up, and you should be able to see how the buildings look like they're actually two-dimensional. I mean, three-dimensional. Okay. This line right here is all one, because these buildings are right next to each other. The stairs pop out, so they have the bottom here. You know, in a way, this line would continue, could be almost parallel to that one. Okay? And then we're continuing that one here. Does this make sense? Do you think this is helping? For the, like, 3 people that are watching? I'm sure a lot of people are not interested, but, or think they can't. And this is kind of hard, but. Does that help?
Yeah.
This probably messed things up too. So this is my sidewalk right here. And I'd also have a line that went like this. Okay, that would get a little narrower up here, and then it's going to get wider as it works its way down. Okay, that's my sidewalk. That's my front yard when I live in the city. My dooryard. My staircase is like super, super steep. If I had brought this out more, it wouldn't be quite so steep. But that's alright. I guess it's kind of like that in the picture. Okay. Alright. Anybody saying anything that I need to know?
Nobody's saying.
Nobody's saying anything. Melba's not like, I don't want to do this. Okay. Alright. So now we have to put on a few windows. And what I would do with the windows up on this upper level here is this. Is I could probably fit 3 windows in. Again, it's not exactly parallel, but it will be parallel will be good enough for our needs. Okay, so what you're doing in a way is you're making a line that runs kind of like this. Okay, and you could do the same thing, assuming these are probably made by the same builders who have the same plans. They're going to have the same thing, and then I might even take this line right here, and I'll use that as my bottom of the windows. And then what I would do is just make that, and try to make them about the same size. You're just making lines that go up and down like that. Okay? And I will take that extra little bit of line between, and I'll just blend that into the background. So that I have them there. And the same thing is that the bottom of these windows is going to continue on right over here like this. And this one would actually look a little bit bigger, which is a whole other kettle of fish, but okay. Maybe one that's there. Okay, so it's not gonna. I guess they're not gonna match up quite the same here because the doors are in different places. But so if this one, the windows are pretty much along the same lines as they're tall. The top of them lines up with a door. So I could have a window here and here, and then the bottom of them maybe here. By now, by the bottom of the window, I'm getting kind of to the horizon line, so they're probably pretty. What's that called?
What?
What's this mean? Straight.
Horizontal?
But not tilted. Horizontal, yeah, I guess. Okay. This one has, there's like a downstairs, so it's got a line like right here, and maybe I don't know, maybe a window, not a door. It has a window there. Bars on it. So this is, I can't really fit the same window here, so I'm gonna have to put it in a little slightly different place. Maybe they're a little smaller. Maybe it's a window that's just over the stairwell or something like that. Okay, go like that. The door has an arch on it, so I can turn this brown line into like this arch. Okay, and if this looks funny to you, make sure that you have these two. It's, in a sense, this is like the railing on both sides. This is the post that's holding the railing up. So make sure you have these two lines that are here, because otherwise when you bring the kids out, when they're little, they're going to fall off the stairs, out the side and onto the ground. They can just fall down the stairs this way. They can't fall out. Okay? So you want that. Okay?
Okay. Don't want my kids falling out.
No, you don't want them to fall like from the way up here all the way down. That's a long way. But this is holding them in, and then they're holding in on the other side too. Okay. So what's neat, I mean, like I said, this is a little tricky. Again, you could, if you didn't, I think if you didn't have the stairwell thing in there, I don't think it's super hard. You can try it that way. Okay, so over here, you know, the top of these windows is going to slant down a little bit, and then these are going to slant up a little bit. It's like a store maybe here. I'll make it have one big window like this. The next thing besides using perspective to, I mean, I love doing this kind of thing, but it's a little complicated. Is to use lighting to also accentuate the perspective and making it look three-dimensional. So we've already kind of got that going with the alleyways are in the shade, right? And then a lot of times windows, when it's daytime and the light's shining on them, the color of the front of the building is going to be quite bright, but the windows are going to be dark. Especially if they have an upper and lower. I don't know if you can see it on this one. It's very hard to see. But the lower ones are dark. And what's neat, too, is when you do them, if you start looking at them, if you're in the city, although not in the big city because they probably don't have screens on the windows. But if you have screens on the windows, they'll appear differently. And even if you get it a little bit close up, you might even see a change in value from where the curtain hangs, and then the screen, and then maybe something else. I mean, there's a lot you can see in windows. It's really cool. I really loved the art, looking at buildings and stuff like that when I lived in cities. Okay, all right. So I'm going to put the sash like that. And this picture, in reality, has about 10 people with umbrellas. I don't know who did it. I love it, but I took them all out. And it's also a lot bigger. It has another store over here. It's really cool. But I made it smaller and took out all the people. Okay. The other thing is, if say the sun is here and shining, then in this area right here, you're going to wind up with a shadow on the ground, right? This. Okay, and you'd also wind up having probably all of this stuff, for the most part, darker too, and maybe the lower part of the door, depending on how high the sun is. Okay? So you don't have to worry. So if you were trying to draw stairs in there and they came out bad, let's just color that in. Okay? And I'm going to make a lot of the lower windows, because what happens is the upper window, the lower window slides inside of the other one, so it's in a different plane. So they come out looking different. This door, there's so many places that you can use the perspective, like how the door fits into the door jamb, and like there's a little place where it goes in. It's all sort of based on these the lines that go this way and the lines that go the other way. All right. This one has either it's like more city or it's trees or something, like maybe there's a park with a hill over there, whatever. So it has a dark shape up here. Actually, I want to put a little line right there. Okay. You could be using different colors. I'm using different colors on that, but just thinking of all the things that are dark. Let's see. We have the window open in here today. No fire going. That's the first time all week. And it is like 70 out. Just saying something. Because today is May 17th. 2020. I was going to say 1984.
Snow last weekend.
I'm totally in
1994?
84.
84? You're a little off.
You can even see the wind blowing my hair. Don't you?
Kinda.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to color something light here. Oh, I'm going to use this color. I love it. No, I'm not.
Okay.
I don't want to use it up. I love it. Well, we did order a new one, but... Okay, we'll see how we put some light colors out here.
This is probably out of all of them the one that is the hardest for me.
For you?
Yeah.
Did everybody hear that? Because, in case you haven't seen, like, Daphne's pictures, she's a very superlative student. And so, if you're struggling a little bit, just remember that she thinks it's hard.
I did.
I wish I could, I struggle with making something, changing it and making it easier or whatever. And like I tried, but I maybe still, I think it's the stairs, right? Is it the stairs that make it so hard?
Well, no, it's just a lot more thinking than the other ones.
Oh.
I mean, the stairs were a trick, but I just had to put a lot more lines on.
Okay, there's that. And, let me see, something else. Something a little green. Storefront here. Like, Overtown, the IGA, remember that? And it had the grossest green.
IGA.
Yeah.
Were you not even where
Alive?
the brewery is now?
I don't
Were
think
you
I've
even
been.
alive when that was a grocery store?
I don't think I was very alive. If I wasn't alive.
Alive, but too young to know. I don't know how long. I mean, what? Oh, what? It was still there when Art Etc. was there and all that.
Well,
Okay.
I don't remember that being the grocery store we went to.
We didn't go a lot,
Yeah.
but
I
It wasn't there
remember
very long, 'cause
like
then it was a bakery.
Ruby and Veronica pushing me and Calvin in the carts at Hannaford's. It's the only grocery store memory I have, like pushing us down the aisles.
yeah, and then ramming into the back of my leg. This with it.
Well,
I'm just.
I don't
do you
remember
not
that
see me?
part.
I'm enormous. How can you do that? Yeah, they would do that, and they would both fight over
Who's
wanting to
gonna
push.
ram you?
Wanting, yeah, wanting to push Daphne and not push Calvin.
Well,
So
he's
you
probably
know who
heavier
wound-
at that
You know
point.
who wound up having to push Calvin?
Ruby?
Yeah. Ruby,
Ruby wouldn't be doing it
Veronica
now.
wouldn't waste time fighting about it. She just immediately grabbed you. She's a smart one. That's why she's got a master's degree.
Yep, she's the smartest kid.
No offense meant for Ruby. Just singing some praises of Veronica. All right. Let's see.
Well, Ruby messed up her drawing a little bit, but she's
She's hanging in
fixing
there.
it.
She's adapting.
Oh,
It's okay to try something.
she said it's classic.
What? What I just said?
Well, I'm guessing, yeah.
Ruby has many things that she leads the pack in.
Finding
She is
Easter
pushing-
eggs as a child, not
of
one.
them. No, she's not. She's not about that. She's looking at other things. She's looking at beauty, so she can take pictures of it. And she also is really. I mean, guessing Veronica could probably do it, but Ruby is particularly good at following directions and like reading. You know, like even when she was little, I would be like, here. You know, she might have only been 10 or 11.
That.
I'd be like, can you set up Daphne's Barbie crap that she got?
Yeah, I feel like I remember that.
And Ruby would do that, and Veronica would be telling me.
Ruby says, "Okay, are you calling me stupid?"
Is that what Veronica said?
No, that's what Ruby said.
No, we're not calling you stupid.
She's apparently good at coding her website.
Yeah, you get those big things and she's
A Squarespace master.
Okay.
How did you finish yours so fast, Mom?
Me?
Yeah, I'm way behind.
Really?
You are doing it way fast.
Yeah.
Faster than I can keep up.
You people. Alright, I am going to use a little gray on this ground here. Yeah, well, I knew what I was doing.
Well,
I hope so.
I would
Not only have I
It's not
practiced
necessarily
this, but I just,
always the case.
What? Did I know what I'm doing?
That you know ahead of time the steps.
Well, yeah, I didn't. I thought I sorted it out, but it was just.
No, not today. I'm just. Today was alright.
And let's see.
You gotta give him a challenge, because yesterday's was like. Couldn't go wrong. You couldn't mess that up.
What did we do yesterday?
The pony. The horse.
Oh, the pony was
Well, I
good,
guess
yeah.
I guess you can mess it up, but
It was a sausage.
I mean, how can you mess up a sausage?
I guess if you like to have. I'm not so sorry. I'm done. I'm not even gonna comment.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Alright, hey, let's see. I want to give it a different colored door. Oh well, I got white right here. I need to use that.
Don't want a teal building? I guess you got light blue one.
I still managed to use my light blue. Yeah, I want to see what. I had to challenge Matthias.
Well, he's not doing it. So.
Oh! Well, he can do it later because you can do it anytime on YouTube at free drawing classes with Valerie Wallace Fine Arts. There's a playlist. You can see them all. Pick and choose. And
watch the news, because you might be on it. Right? It's the weekend.
yeah, on WABI Channel 6, you can watch the news today, and
There's a chance.
you might see me on it again. Alright, I'm going to do a little something special in the sky that has Daphne in mind.
I do love it. I'm
Little-
excited.
Cool little, so it's super dark. You know, I got a sunset going on. Afternoon,
Dusk.
Yeah, it could be blue, pretty dark blue sky. I'm gonna use this blue. We'll see how this goes. Okay. I'm gonna move this. Or maybe it's sunrise.
No.
No?
I don't know.
And then I'm gonna use something else. I'm gonna use.
I don't really like sunrise. I wouldn't be out sketching the buildings at sunrise.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna put these. If you really want up with trouble, actually I'm gonna do this too. You know, something. You can send me the picture. Just you can do a picture on your phone if you take a picture on your phone. You can do it on almost anything. You can do it as a comment, you can do it as a message to me. You just gotta look for the little thing that looks like a camera and push on that, and it should open your camera up with a little round circle, and you can take a picture there. And then there's usually an arrow or something, or send or whatever, and then you can send it to me. And I will help you out. I draw right on there and show you where, what happened if you want. But not, whatever. Try it again. It'll be easier the second time. I'll put a little foundation on this guy. Okay, so I'm gonna do the telephone pole. Okay, I want to have two in here. I guess you can't really see it here, but I did in my practice one. So I don't have a lot of room here, so I'm gonna do it just inside of my house here, and I'm gonna put a nice line that goes up and down. And this one has two up on the top, and then one a little bit lower. And then what I'm going to do is a lighter one that's here, a little skinnier if I can do it too. A little lighter, and it's going to look like it's a little farther away. I don't have to do the lines or anything. Okay, how's that? Good? Good enough?
You're done?
I don't know, what else do I need to do?
I don't know. Dad and I are, well, Dad's further ahead than me. Jeez. Yeah. Looks good.
How long did I take?
I don't know.
Should I waste time?
37. No, you're good.
37?
37.
Should I kill time?
Nope.
I don't, yeah, I mean, probably no one's watching anyway, so.
Ruby is.
Ruby is,
do I
and
need-
she's
do
not
you need
impressed
to do
with
anything
you.
else?
She's not impressed.
She's mad at us?
Yep.
She's not mad.
I don't even have time to be mad.
This
I
is
can't
what's
even
been
keep up.
going on. Just in case any of you out there think that having twins is fun, I'll tell you that you can't say, oh, your hair looks pretty today without the other ones in. You don't like my hair.
I don't think this is
Now
helping.
they're both gonna be mad at you.
Yeah.
You did it this time.
It's probably the truth about siblings in general, anyways.
It is, but it's particularly hard because, twins are always, comparing against each other their whole entire life, even in the womb.
Alright.
And everybody knows some twins, so just be sympathetic. It's hard.
To them or their
everybody
mom?
thinks that you want to be a twin, but it's a hard thing to be. Yeah. Okay? That's
Unless you're at the twin festival, and then it's a hard thing to be a singleton.
Yeah. If you're a twin, go to the twin festival in Ohio. But don't bother to go unless you're identical twins. Just skip it. You have to go and you have to be identical, and you have to wear matching clothes for like 3 or 4 days that you're there every single time, every single moment of the day. And don't get away from your twin because then people want to know who your twin is. But nobody's-
Yeah, and if you're not a twin, it's an interesting place.
It's crazy. Craziness. Okay, if you'd like to leave a donation, there is a link that will take you directly to the spot you could do that. I'm also on Venmo at Valerie Wallace-9, and I will be back tomorrow, and we will draw. Dun 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 dun. Moana, who is a Disney character. So if you want to watch Moana and get in the mood, you can do that. And then we have a still life on Tuesday. And enjoy the day. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I'll give you a close-up so you can pause it on there, and then you can see if you can sort it out. Print a picture out and draw on it yourself. You could do that too. Okay? You got it? Bye.